All right, well, first things first, I want to appreciate you for making the time to hop on the show.
Appreciate you having me, bro. Thank you.
Yeah, so I want to start in your background. I know it's been a minute, but we have a lot of new listeners, and if you could share your background into music, what were your early inspirations and why you got into the art?
Yeah, my early background in music, I started. I was writing poetry in high school, and then before that, I was just freestyling and with the homies, just kind of messing around. It wasn't taking it serious. Like we would take like radio songs that were popular at the time and just make our own versions of it, just messing around. So I guess throughout time it just got more serious, and then once I was out of high school, I actually started recording and all that. So I've been making music for like about 12 plus now. And early influences. Oh, it's his birthday today, actually. Big Pun.
Shout out.
Shout outs, Big Pun.
Big Punisher.
Atmosphere. Uh, A lot of the rhyme sayers stuff. Brother Ali, Idea and Abilities, Murs, Living Legends, all them. Those are some of the early influences, and then I guess it moved on to like artists like Kendrick, J. Cole, and all that other stuff. But yeah, I've been in this music thing for a while now, just trying to represent, my neck of the woods, Anaheim, California, Juice County as best as I can. So yeah, I mean, I've kind of built a network now over these last couple of years, and we're here, second time with my homie.
You mentioned that it started out with poetry. If you don't mind sharing, what were some of those early poems about?
I guess just stuff I was going through, really. It wasn't even like structured as like raps or nothing like that. I wasn't even trying to rhyme like that. I was just thinking about stuff, and whatever, hit my head first, I would just jot it down. So it'd either be things that I thought about, things I was going through, things I saw other people going through. So it was just a mix of stuff. I was just literally documenting everything. Yeah.
Do you remember the first time you hopped on a mic and recorded something?
Probably 18 years old. I think I've said last time we were talking about it. My homie Alex, he produces most of my beats now, but he had this program called Audacity back then, and we would just use like the little laptop and the computer mic, and then after that we would use a Rock Band mic. And
Shout out to Rock Band.
Yeah, man, we just put a sock over it. It was just like hanging like a light bulb, just like that, and then we would just be in his living room recording. So yeah, that was the early days. That was like the first time that I remember recording myself.
Yeah. Do you remember the first time you put something out onto whether it was SoundCloud or another platform?
I think it was probably a year after I was just recording and just trying to hear my voice and trying to get comfortable. I think I just put out like a freestyle, just some random freestyle, and then it started catching on. Like the people in the neighborhood that knew I rapped. I was just rapping at parties and just freestyling and battling at parties with the homies and stuff. So it wasn't like nothing serious. I hadn't put nothing on wax yet. But yeah, I remember releasing my first freestyle over Memory Lane of Nas.
Okay. Oh yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. It was kind of a moment where I'm like, I don't know if I should do this beat. I don't want to butcher it, but I just I think my boy Alex like hyped me up for it. He was like, "Nah, bro, come on." And I'm like, yeah. So I put that out, and it started catching on after that. So yeah.
You mentioned that you did, you would perform at parties and that kind of deal. What was it like when you first started rapping and other people started to know that you rap? And I don't want to say it was fame, but at least in the neighborhood or in your small circles, what was that like to have that acknowledgement from other people? They're like, "Oh, that's the guy who raps," kind of deal.
It was kind of new, and then kind of not new at the same time, because I guess I was always like the jokester in the group, so I was always making everybody laugh anyway. So people kind of knew me for that. And when it started coming out that I was rapping, like I didn't really pay attention to it at first. Honestly, I was just kind of hanging out, just kind of doing it. I wasn't really thinking about it. Like I said, I wasn't even taking it serious like that. I feel like maybe the people around me at the time like were kind of pushing me to take it serious. They're like, "No, bro, like release another freestyle, like get back in the studio, like do this, do that. You should do a video, you should do this." So it was kind of like that recognition that you're talking about. It was nice. It was cool. Like I tried not to let it get to my head though. I guess you could say too. So I was just more having fun at that time. And I guess like just the people around me were like, nah, bro, like take it more serious. Like, do you hear yourself? I'm like, oh, I guess so.
And that's one, I didn't know you back then, but that's, after knowing you these last handful of years, that's one thing I do appreciate is that you're not kind of like in your face about it, or you're not doing it for the wrong reasons. You're not doing it for sometimes I think people try too hard to be an artist, whether it is rapper or something else, but you're very like, this is what I do, but I'm not going to be in your face. I'm not going to be kind of like riding trends just to ride trends kind of deal,
No, I just kind of I've kind of just stuck to just doing me. Just doing my thing with it, staying in my own lane. Yeah.
So this year in 2025, earlier, you were part of this Power 106 challenge. I wanted to talk about that.
Yeah.
Because I was able to follow it through social media, but how did that opportunity come about? If you could tell us, like, from the very beginning.
How did that come about? Dude, you know what? No, hold up. I think it was my homie Jamal. Okay. Jamal, he tagged me in one of Just Incredible's posts.
Boombastic?
Yeah. Shout out to my boy Jamal. Yeah. So he was the one that kind of like sent that my way, and then we just took off from there. Yeah.
Okay.
So shout outs to Jamal.
Nice. And then, there was multiple rounds. Was there like ever a certain round where you're like, man, like I'm really in this? You know what I mean? Versus
probably after the first round.
Okay.
Yeah, like I think I was talking to YBG and Jules about it too. Like it didn't really hit me until we released the video, and I was like, oh. And then people started voting, and then we made it to round 2, and I was like, oh. Yeah, and then when we actually talked to Just Incredible on the phone, he's like, all right, bro, spit your freestyle right now. We're about to put you on the radio. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. Yeah, all right. So it didn't hit me until probably like after round 1, and then I saw everybody voting, and everyone kind of like trying to put me up there, and then we kept going and catching more momentum, and I was like, oh, dope. All right. So it was a good feeling.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's pretty dope. I feel like there was a time where radio stations were about the community and do stuff like that. You don't see that too often, so I thought it was cool. I don't really follow Power 106 or those stations to see if they do it regularly, but I'm glad, it was a benefit to you.
Yeah.
Did you see an increase in your audience numbers or listens, that sort of deal?
For sure. Yeah, no, shout outs to them for giving that kind of opportunity to everybody, because, there was a lot of artists that entered that, so could have been anyone, but, they was feeling Anaheim. So
there you go.
Yeah.
And then I do remember one of the videos that you posted for it, you went a cappella, right? You just went straight freestyle, no
I think
beat.
that was the first one that we did, yeah.
Okay. What was the decision into doing that?
Their idea.
Okay.
I give all the credit to the team for that one, because I didn't know what I was going to spit. I was just like, I don't know what I want to spit, bro. Like it was very fast paced, so we had to come up with everything like really, really quickly. So I think we had talked about it. I think they had talked about it, and then they talked to me about it. So they're like, hey, you should spit an acapella because, it's your first introduction, and we want people to. I'm like, yeah, all right, that makes sense. So it was out of the box because everyone else was just rapping on a beat. So I was like, all right, yeah, we could do it. We could be different. I'm all about that. So, yeah. Yeah,
it pays to stand out, right? I'm sure a lot of people kind of remember that. And then sometimes, too, if the beat is too dominating, people don't pay attention to the lyrics as much.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's what we wanted people to focus on, what I was saying. So, yeah, it was definitely shout outs to the team for that strategy.
Have you done anything else with Power 106 since then?
No, I haven't. I've been trying to keep up with them because we were supposed to finish the contest, so I'm still waiting to hear about that.
Yeah. So how did it end, if you don't mind sharing? Because I don't remember it off of the top of my head.
It was 2 rounds, right? We did 2 rounds? Yeah. We finished the 2 rounds, and it kind of just stopped after that. I think because
Well, they said they wanted to retire his belt because he went back to back to give like other people to enter it.
Yeah,
gotcha.
It was like a weekly thing.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
We have been speaking to someone named Duke who works up there at the station, so he was the one kind of like coordinating everything behind the scenes. And he said, we're gonna retire your crown, bro. I guess. I was ready to go like 5 more rounds. I mean, everybody was ready.
Yeah.
I had like a lot of people behind me, so yeah. Shout outs to everybody that voted, man. That was love for real.
There you go. I wanted to ask you too about. Oh, hold on. Okay, so fast forwarding to later this year, right? You have your upcoming show with DJ Quick.
Yep.
Before we get into the show with DJ Quick on November 26th, you've been performing at the Garden Grove Amphitheater, but just some other venues as well. What have you gained from that experience and performing in those venues?
Improving on stage presence, that's always a thing for me. Like, how can I make the performance better? How can I make the live experience better for everybody? It's just, I guess you could say, as much effort and creativity and time I put into the music, that's what I've learned to put into the live performance as well. So just pay attention to details, be a perfectionist, do everything over again until you're damn near like too comfortable with it. So yeah, it's just the same process, I guess, just treating it the same with the same care. I would say that's what I've learned most of all. Yeah.
It was in the summer that you did a show at the Garden Grove Amp, and you did a versus, right, with somebody else?
Yeah, my homie Panda, yeah.
How many times did you rehearse that before you actually got to do it?
Ooh, a lot. I want to say like we had 5 rehearsals before that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, once a week. So.
And then how did you feel like after you completed it, how you executed it?
We felt really good after that. I felt really good after that show. I mean, it was like all the practice really did pay off, because I still get nervous. Sometimes when I get up on the stage, it'll probably last like the first 5 minutes, and then once they call me out, it's like, all right, you got to get over it now. You're here. So once I got on the stage, it's more like everything just started coming back, and it was just more about having fun. So I guess that was the main thing in my head. Just have fun. That's the best way to execute it, because I feel like the practices are more intense than the actual show. So, yeah.
What was the first show, if you don't mind reminding me, that you did at the Garden Grove Amphitheater?
Ooh. It had to be a Bone Thug show.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like pretty recently, right? 2-3 years ago?
I want to say 3 years ago, yeah.
Okay.
Maybe. A little more, maybe. But
Back to basics.
it might have been Back to Basics. I've done a lot of shows at the amp, so
Yeah.
I can't remember the first one exactly, but yeah, I feel like it had to be a Bone Thugs one. Yeah.
I asked because, like, how did you get connected? Because I believe the last time we recorded a podcast, you hadn't done shows at the Garden Grove Amphitheater yet.
Yeah, it was the same people that I went through when I was performing at the observatory. So, yeah, they just kind of moved. I think after Live Nation had taken over the observatory, everyone just kind of moved over to the Garden Amp.
Gotcha.
So it was kind of just readjusting to a new venue. And shout out to the Garden Amp. They take care of us every time we're there. So, yeah. That's
a cool spot, too. I've only been a couple times, but I remember, at least when I was a teenager and even like early 20s, they didn't have a lot of shows there. And it's cool how they're happening to open up that little space. It's a nice venue.
It's way more active now. Yeah.
And I feel like they've taken over, like you said, they've taken over a lot of the shows that they used to get at the observatory.
Yeah, for sure.
Because the observatory's kind of changed their lineup a little bit too.
Definitely.
Do you have a favorite spot that you performed at? A preferable spot?
Honestly, I've been thinking about it a lot, just because I be going through like my Instagram memories, and I just be looking at old performances, and I gotta say FTG. I miss that warehouse, bro.
Okay. And they just retired their spot too, right?
Yeah, they did.
Man.
Shout outs to FTG for like all the memories, because like that place was just, I felt like it was just for the community, strictly for the community. So we had really good turnouts there. We had a lot of good shows there. So
that's where we did the True Fest too, right?
True Fest, that 7 show. I mean, yeah, man, a lot of good memories there. Shout out to FTG.
Shout out to FTG, that's for sure. So going back to present day, or at least the future, where you have the show on the 26th with DJ Quick, how did that opportunity come about for you?
This is like the 7th time that I've opened up for Quick, so it's just come through the same connections I've had through the observatory, through SES management, the homegirl Janet. She's always been looking out for me, and then Panda as well, because he performs a lot, so I'm always getting heads up about the shows ahead of time. I think that I've just had really successful performances every time I've opened up for Quick. Like, those have been some of my best ones, along with Bone Thugs, and just those two really. So those were like some of the main artists I grew up listening to. So I've always wanted to go the extra mile to try to put on a really good show as an opener.
Right.
Right. So.
Do you ever get it when you open up for these artists? Do you ever get a chance to meet and conversate with them more than just like the simple hi bye?
Yeah. The first time I opened up for Quick, I actually did have a conversation with him, and he gave me like a shout out. I think I posted it on my Instagram not too long ago.
Okay.
But yeah, that was in 2013. Yeah, so a good minute ago. But yeah, well, I always remember what Quick told me that day. He just said, when you're making music as an artist, just make sure like whatever name you pick, like make sure your music follows your name, because people know when you're lying. That's what he told me. So ever since then, that's just been in my. I think that's what kind of inspired me to just change my artist name to my name, Villiami.
Okay.
So, cause it's like, no, this is me. Like, ain't no
made
fabric.
up.
There ain't no made up. This is really me. Like, it's my real name. My rap name's my real name. It don't get realer than that.
Okay.
But yeah. So I'm excited. You know, and then I think I met Sugar Free that night too. I didn't really get to conversate with him. It was more like a passing by thing, where I just gave him dab. I'm like, hey, Free, you killed it, all right. And then he's just hilarious.
Yeah.
Like, he's a character. I guess it was like a really cold night, and he was like sweating, and you know when people sweating on cold, it's like people are steaming like that.
Yeah.
So he was just like, I shook his hand. I'm like, hey, Free, can we get a picture? He's like, man, hell yeah. Like, come on over here, bro. He's like, hey, wait a minute. Before we take that picture, is there steam coming off my head? Is there steam coming off my head? He's like, ooh, I'm still hot, boy. Let's go. So we didn't end up taking a picture with him because like he got bum rushed by a bunch of fans and crowds. So yeah, but shout outs to Free, man, for being cool like that and just stopping by and saying he saw us waiting there like in the rain to meet him, and they appreciate that. So the fact that these OGs can still like bring themselves to be like human beings and interact with their fans, like that's what I admire about them. Yeah.
Sugar Free is one of those artists I really appreciate for how like unique he is. You know, there's a lot when you say like rap or hip hop. There's a lot of artists you can think of. There's a lot of people that first come to mind, and then there's like a lot of artists that probably don't get enough love, but they're so talented in their own lane. Like no one does what Sugar Free does.
The tightest beat spitter on the West Coast.
Exactly.
He holds that title, man. No one else can do that.
And he'll never, you know, especially if you meet somebody from outside of California, they're gonna be like, who's Sugar Free? Like they're not gonna know. So it feels like the local of the locals know.
Oh yeah.
Almost like a Dom Kennedy, but before the next or the generation before. Yeah. So it's just really cool. I always appreciate people like Sugar Free, Dom Kennedy, to name a few.
Yeah.
But yeah, do you have anything special planned for this show with DJ Quick, opening up for DJ Quick?
I might throw some free stuff out there, you know, interact with the crowd a little bit. You know, like I don't like to give away too much. I'd rather just people come out and experience it for themselves, and then they can spread the word after that. You know, make y'all want to pop out. But yeah, I got some new songs that I'm performing, some unreleased songs that I've just kind of been testing the waters with. So I've been getting really good responses so far, and it's gonna be the first show where I'm performing my new single Swayze. So I'm excited about that. I'm about to wrap up the music video for that too. So hopefully, man, we're just letting everything fall together right now.
Do you have a plan for the music video yet, or not at the moment?
Oh, we wrapped it up already. We already wrapped it up. We're just trying to get all the footage together and trying to put it, you know, right, making sure it's presentable for the people. But I wanted to release it the day of the show, so I mean, it could still happen. We just got to see what's up. But yeah, we're gonna try and release it on the day of the show. If not, then y'all will still get it.
That Swayze beat is really fun because it samples the Parliament song, right?
Yeah, Flashlight.
How did you find that beat? How did you come into your desk or whatever?
YouTube surfing, man.
Really?
Yeah, just YouTube surfing. I just was looking up beats, and then I just put funk sample beats because I just been on this funk kick for the past couple years, really heavy. I feel like the West Coast is like going back to that sound slowly, like starting to like dig through the crates type stuff. With the old music that inspired like most of what we got today. So I found that beat, and as soon as I heard the sample, I was just like, oh, that's it. And I already had the verse written. I just had no beat for it.
Oh, okay.
So it was kind of those things where it's kind of like, oh, this and that. Oh, there we go, Swayze, we got it.
So when you have something already written like that and you're looking for beats, do you ever, in that process, did you try rapping it on other beats and it just didn't work out?
Yeah. for sure.
How many would you say you go through?
For Swayze, I probably went through 3 different beats.
Okay.
That the one that it ended up on included, but sometimes it happens like that. I'll just have a verse, I'll try it on different beats. Sometimes I'll just have one beat and try 3 different verses. So it just depends what I got. Or I'll just freestyle a verse. I'll take my time writing it for a couple hours. It just depends how I'm feeling, you know. Yeah.
Okay. And then Swayze, you rap it in the song a few times.
Mm-hmm.
Does that word mean anything to you, or is it just kind of a fun word that you like to use?
That word is like a hustler term. It's more like you're bouncing back, like everything's going your way, like you start feeling unstoppable, like like no matter what, I'm gonna just roll with the punches and just make this happen. Like, all I gotta do is hold it down, grind hard for this long, and I'm Swayze. Like I got it.
Okay.
So it's definitely like a hustler's term. So if you're a hustler, you'll definitely vibe with Swayze. For sure, 100%.
And at the end of the song, you kind of mentioned, you throw it out like, they better play this shit at the Angels game, right?
That was random. That was just random. I didn't even know that. Shout outs to Andy. And Bijan, the homie Bijan.
Okay.
They engineered the song, but I didn't even know they were gonna keep that part in there.
Really?
So I was just messing around, bro. I just be messing around in the booth sometimes. They know.
Yeah.
I'll just be goofing off sometimes, and then they kept it, and I was like, yeah, I get it. They're like, no, keep it, bro. It's funny. I'm like, all right, bet.
Yeah.
I guess we're just gonna keep it then.
But it really works because you're not only from Anaheim,
Yeah.
right? You represent Anaheim and Orange County, but the way the sample kind of drops right after that. You say that shit because the beat kind of stops. You say it, and then it goes to that
And
Parliament
it goes to the
sample,
sample,
and you're
yeah.
just like, damn, that was a
Yeah.
really fun ending.
When I heard the end result, I was just kind of, oh, okay. I started to seeing what people were seeing. I'm like, all right, I hear it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, right on.
Yeah.
So going back to some of just, the career that you have musically, you mentioned the hustle instinct from the song Swayze.
Right.
One thing I've admired from you is how you juggle, your work, but you're also your music career. What are some struggles that you have overcome in the most recent years, juggling both?
That's a good question. I guess just understanding the balance, before really trying to implement it in everything that you do. Like, I stand really firmly on, the concept of family. And, I feel like making time for your family as an artist is very important. Making time to live life, just in general, because I thought about, I know I talked to the team about this before, but I used to think, this whole thing about writer's block, like when we say we go through writer's block, I feel like that's really self-inflicted, because it's like, if you feel like you got writer's block, you don't got nothing to write about, it's because you're not going out there, making time to live life and experience new things. So if you're not living life, you ain't gonna have nothing new to write about. So I feel like I had to when it came to balancing the career and the music, I feel like most of my new songs that I got coming out and that I'm working on right now it's touching on that a little more. I feel like the balance had to be understood and fully comprehended by me, and like, okay, I got to make time for this, but I also got to make time for family. I got to make time to do other things that outside of music, maybe like that I want to do, like community work that I want to be involved in. So it's just about balancing and time management, for real. And yeah, I felt like once I understood that, I feel like it started naturally just making itself into my music slowly but surely. So yeah, the new music that I got coming out, it's gonna touch on a lot of that stuff. So
okay, the balance of everything.
For sure. Yeah.
Gotcha. If you don't mind sharing, what are some of those things, whether it's this year or in the near future, what else are some of those things you plan on dropping?
Well, I got a song, Brick by Brick, that I'm gonna be dropping pretty soon, actually, and I'm working on a video for that as well. That one's touching more on like the concept of generational wealth and trying to really build a foundation and really build something that will live longer than you. So it's brick by brick, day by day. I feel like, yeah, it's just hustlers music, for real. Other than that, I got collabs, with the homies coming out. I got more collaborations coming out. We just finished a collaboration. Shout outs to CJ Soul, the homie. He had me on his new album. So for right now, I'm just going on a feature spree. I guess you could say. I'm just going on another feature spree. So you're gonna see a Villiami popping up on everybody's record probably again.
Okay.
For a couple months.
There you go.
And then in between all that, I'll be releasing my own stuff. So yeah.
Okay. So this next question kind of has a long setup, but there's this movie Soul. Have you ever seen that? It's kind of a newer Disney movie, right?
Okay.
And so there's this part where this guy, the main character, he's a jazz player. He's a jazz musician.
Okay.
And he works his whole life in these like different jazz clubs, but he really wants to get to this one jazz club that's considered the highest.
Okay.
And then he performs there one night. It was kind of a last minute deal. There's a big movie to it, right? There's more. I'm kind of shortening it. But, you know, when he finishes, he expects to feel some sort of a way. And I remember the head of the jazz band.
Okay.
She kind of says, you know, she has like this little analogy where there's these two fish that meet, and one fish asks the other fish like, "Hey, where can I get to the ocean?" You know, and the other fish is like, "The ocean? You're swimming in it." You know, and it's like, "No, this is water. I'm trying to get to the ocean."
Okay.
Right. And so she kind of says that as to show him, right, what you have to do is like learn how to appreciate these moments, because you're not gonna. He expects it to feel different after he performed at this pinnacle place.
Yeah, yeah.
And so I asked that because at least in my career, right, I've done a few things in broadcasting that have gone to like, if I asked myself 5 years ago, that would have been like it.
Right.
And I expected it to feel different after I had accomplished those things.
Yeah.
Right. So I'm asking you now, how do you juggle that between like, oh, there's always something next that I want to achieve or accomplish, but then also how do you appreciate, hey, I'm actually living in this. I'm performing. I'm putting music out. People are asking me to be features. How do you juggle those two different ideas or those two different motivators?
That's a really good question. Yeah, man, he's good. He's good, man. It just falls back down to balance, bro. Yeah, there's always, you know, that thing in me that's as an artist, as a creator, as a hustler, like, no, there's always the next level. I gotta go, I gotta get there, I gotta do this, I gotta do that. Yeah, but through my career, personally, I've seen that, like, for example, when I was in my 20s, I used to dread being the guy that was 30 trying to rap still.
Right.
Like, that was one of my biggest things in the back of my mind, like, just like, no, that can't happen. Like, by this time I gotta do this, I gotta have this, I gotta have that. And by the time that I reached like 29 years old and I was on the brink of turning 30, and you're starting to think of everything, and I'm like, well, like, it's not that bad. It's not that bad, like, because throughout all this time, learning through different experiences, business, music wise, and all that, I've learned to balance other things, like how we were talking about earlier, like family, career, this and that. And then by the time that I had assembled the team that I got right now, I felt like, no, like, what I was dreading at this age, no, this is where I need to be. This is exactly where I need to be. So this is why, like, I can move around and not worry about, you know, the pace that we're moving at, because I've seen how long it takes just to get to this one spot. Like, to get to like I said, the team I have right now, like, I've always wanted this team. This is the team that I've always wanted around me. And it took 10 plus years to get to that team.
Right.
I had to go through different managers, different this, different that. I had to deal with many different people, different situations. And then I finally got a team that just genuinely wants to see me win as much as I want to see them win. So I think once I realized that, and I saw how much time it took, and I just looked back, I said, like, the only thing I did really was stay down. I just didn't quit. I just didn't give up on that idea. And now I use that now to where, like, you know, yeah, I could be doing things at a certain pace, like, you know, how you said, like, I need to do this right now, the next level, but now it's like there's more enjoyment in the journey than the destination. Yes. I guess you could say. Like, I'm not so focused on, don't get me wrong, the destination's still there, like, we still see it, but we're not, you know, trying to, you know, break ourselves trying to get there. We're not trying to tire ourselves, burn ourselves out trying to get there no more. We're more or less just trying to, if necessary, take 5 steps back to take 10 forward.
Right.
if that's the case, if we need to. And it's more about just playing chess and really taking your time and being strategic and calculated about all your moves, because that's what's really going to count at the end of the day. Because people could tell when something's rushed. People could tell when something's like forced.
Right.
So I feel like after, like I said, I got blessed with the team that I got. I don't rush nothing. I take my time with everything now. So everybody's got their pace. Everybody's got their pace. As long as you're moving and not being stagnant, that's the important thing.
Yeah.
So I definitely feel like there's more enjoyment in the journey. Like it's fun. Like now I've realized that sometimes it's just the journey that you got to focus on. Everything else will fall in place when it needs to.
Yeah. I appreciate you for sharing that.
Yeah.
That's one thing I feel like a lot of people struggle with. And going back to what you said too about the whole 30 thing, like I remember too, I work with a lot of teenagers. And they always get the same reaction when I say I'm 30, and it's like, damn.
Bro, they look at you crazy, don't they?
Yeah, they do. And
I tell people I'm 33, and they're like, what? I thought you were 28, bro. What? I'm like, nah, man. Thank you, but I'm like, nah, man. I'm up there.
And I feel like we're not far removed from that age to where we thought that. You know, I remember being 20. I remember being 15, thinking 30 felt forever.
Yeah.
But 30, now that I am 30,
And then you
like,
finally get here.
it doesn't feel too different from 25, from 26, you know, from these late 20 ages.
Yeah.
And now my perception of like, oh, that's old is probably like after 50. Because especially too, I do a lot of physical stuff. I'll go play basketball.
Right.
I'll practice with some of the kids.
Right.
And I can still move and keep up well. Now, am I going to dominate anybody? No. But I can still do a lot of the physical movement that I could at 18, 20, 23. So I'm really grateful for that. And I know I had to work hard to do that too. But it's one of those things that's like, okay, like for whatever reason, and maybe it's something society does to us, but at that young age, we think 30's old. We think 30's old. You're washed. You can't be having fun. You can't be chasing your hobby, you know? And now that I am 30 and living it and still doing the side hustle and trying to chase these dreams, it's like, oh, it's not that bad. Like it doesn't.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't
exactly
feel
how
crazy.
I feel. That's how I feel. Like I said, when I got to this age, right when I turned 30, and I kind of just observed, you know, what was going on around me, the situations I had lined up. I was like, no, like, you know what? These are the situations that I wanted when I was younger. It's just, I didn't have, you know, the right approach at that time. Maybe I didn't have the right people around me that would push me towards these opportunities, more or less just hold me back or like whatever, because they felt like I was going to change or whatever the case is. But I said, like, maturity comes with time. So you kind of understand, like, every few years, I in my 30s, I've learned like every few years you just got to audit your circle of people.
I like that.
You got to do it every year. I do it every year. I just pay attention to who's around me and who's not serving a purpose on the team, so to say, but like serving their own purpose. Like, what are you getting out of this?
Yeah.
You know, as a person, like, how are you going to level up you know, like being around us. I like to think that everyone that's around me and the team, like, you know, you value yourself. You want to see yourself win. Well, we want to see you win, so you got to be just as ambitious as us.
Right.
You know?
And it's one thing I noticed probably 27, 28, starting to notice, it's almost like there's a switch that gets flipped on in your mind because you're able to process things and analyze certain friendships. And it's not like you have to cut them off, but it's like, all right, how much time do I commit to them?
Yeah, exactly.
How much time can
learning
I
what to, what to put energy towards or what to put your effort towards. So I think that happens in your 30s way more.
Yeah.
Like, you're starting to pay attention a lot to the people around you, you know, the things that, you know, maybe stressed you out before. Like now you see it as like, why was I stressing about that, bro? Like, unnecessary. I can just, you know, be cool about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
and that's another thing too. I work with so many teenagers, and just even I've befriended and work with younger people too in their early 20s, and sometimes they'll be venting about this like silly problem, and to me it sounds silly.
It sounds crazy.
But to them, they're like so invested in it. It's like I can still remember me being invested about small things, and now in my 30s or just in a different maturity level, it's like I don't need to really be stressing about this.
Yeah, because I remember all that stuff too, stressing over like the little things that I've. Now I look at them and I'm like, man, that was so fixable. Like, why did I do that? Why did I crash out over that? Like, all right, you know, not again. But yeah, like I said, just maturity over the years. I guess that's the other thing that music gave me. It gave me like freedom. It gave me therapy. It gave me, you know, a release, an escape. It gave me, you know, a space to, express myself, obviously, but it also gave me maturity. Because this is the one thing in my life that I've stayed dedicated to, like no matter what.
So as we wrap things up for today's episode, I do like to ask those questions at the end. Some will be similar to see if your perspective has shifted, but I'll ask you a couple different ones as well.
Cool.
First question, if you can go any place in the world, where would you want to go?
I really want to go to the islands, like Tonga, Samoa. I really want to go get like my tribal tattoo, like the old school way. So I'm trying to make that happen. So
yeah.
Yeah.
What do they call that? The old school tattoos? Is there a name for that? Stick and poke. There you go. Shout out to Marlon.
Shout outs to Marlon.
What's your favorite thing to eat before you get into a creative space? Wow, or it could be a drink.
That's a good question. Okay, hold on. It's gonna require some thought. Well, after some recreational activities. I'm gonna be honest, bro. Like, it's just an any time of the day type of thing. I'll mess up some cereal.
Okay.
Yeah.
Top 5 cereals?
How you making it think?
Honey Bunches of Oats, Raisin
classic.
Bran.
It's a 30-year-old man right there.
Yeah, bro. Yeah, man.
Raisin Bran smacks, George. Do not hate on Raisin Bran.
Do not hate on Raisin Bran, bro. That is what we're not gonna do right now. Fruity Pebbles is cool. It used to be my favorite in high school. Cocoa Puffs, Cocoa Puffs, obviously. Jinx, you owe me a box. And then the last one, I'm gonna go ahead and say, I like the Cookie Crisp. I'm not gonna lie.
Okay.
Yeah. So those are my top 5.
Next question: if you could conversate, let's just say with any 2 to 3 people, dead or alive, who would you want to talk to the most?
2 or 3 people, dead or alive. I'll do 3. Let's see. I would want to talk to Bob Marley, just to get a piece of his mind. I want to talk to Lucky Luciano to get an understanding of business on his end. And I would say Jim Morrison, or Big Pun.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll change the last one to Big Pun.
Shout out
Happy
to Big
birthday.
Pun. Happy birthday. What's the biggest lesson that you've learned in the year 2025?
Biggest lesson. I don't think there's been one big lesson that I've learned. I feel like I've been relearning lessons.
Okay.
If that makes sense. I feel like certain situations have come up, like in my career or life, where it's kind of like a rerun of something. It's like, oh, not this time. I know what to do now.
Okay.
So if it could be anything, but I feel like I've been relearning things and kind of changing my approach to it. So it's been a little bit of everything, honestly. Life, family, music, career. Just learning how to maneuver as a man through this stuff. Yeah.
Gotcha. And last question, what's some advice that you would give to your younger self?
Some advice I would give my younger self. Don't smoke cigarettes. Stop smoking cigarettes. That's the first thing.
Yeah.
Stop worrying about these females. And I would tell my younger self, just stay down. In a couple years, it'll work out. It'll be worth it. You'll see.
Appreciate that.
Just keep doing what you're doing. Yeah.
So this is the part of the show too. If you want to plug anything, whether it's your social media, website, upcoming shows. Obviously, we mentioned DJ Quick. But go ahead and plug anything else.
DJ Quick, Garden Amp, the 26th. Got a Swayze video coming up. Everything else though that you want to stay updated with, YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, all that stuff, Villiami.com. VILLIAMI.com.
Hey.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Thank you, bro. Always a pleasure.